and as you fall, Enwin is still on his feet. The rest of you fall and break all of the tables inside of the Cheshire Club. To which Bo goes, "Come on!"
Best day ever!
Group, though. He would work with the group because he likes Cass, and that would just be really, really awkward on the battlefield.
What?
I don't think that's an awkward. Perfect person to protect Cass. I
Wait,
like
what?
it. Let's go.
I'm still
I
here.
don't need protection.
I'm still here.
I know you are, sweetie.
Chris,
It's okay.
shh. The adults are talking. Shh.
Oh,
One
alright.
second, buddy.
I like it. I'm gonna what did you
Chris
think
likes
of
Cass?
I like
What have you been?
Ibs was a little pretentious.
This was
and
my
for
favorite.
me.
I like Bob.
Thanks, Perry.
Alright.
Appreciate it.
Are you gonna leave?
Yeah, the crew needs me.
You go, and I'm gonna stay right here.
Oh my god.
And he nods his head. And he nods his head and walks you over to the door. And sort of opens the door.
Oh man.
There was mouth stuff poison? Oh yeah.
No smell stuff.
That came out wrong, sorry.
Sorry. I couldn't not laugh.
Person has died, Ryan. A little decorum,
Just
please.
due to mouth stuff. Come on. Get over it.
I'll go home
Smack him
now.
across the face. I'm like, wake up.
All right, you smack Ryan across the We're set up in these stands or floating above the water. Have never seen a ship cross the finish line, but first. And they all watch as the first thing they see is Monkey C. Written along the side of the ship, crossing and backwards. And you have crossed the finish line. Congratulations, crew. You have won the first high lock race for the briefest of seconds. Let them be. Let them love and hurt and change and tell stories and die fighting and pouring drinks and doing the right thing even though it hurts. Just let them be. We can give them that. What's going on, Indigo Chameleon audience? It's me, your good buddy Scribe, here to remind you of the fun ways that you can interact here on Indigo Chameleon, even when we're not streaming. One, we've got an amazing Discord. Come and hang out with us. We would love to have you there. You can find some inspiration if you need it. There's memes. There's even like fun ways for you to be like the first one to know when we're looking for players for a remote one-shot or a one-shot located here at Indigo Chameleon Studios. So please come and hang out with us on the Discord. We would love to have you. We also have a merch store. Yeah, it's a chance for you, the dear viewer, to help us represent the brand a little bit. There's t-shirts, there's mugs, there's prints, there's shower curtains. So I hear one day you will be mine, shower curtain. So yeah, thank you so much for all your support. And as always, there's always a spot here at the table for you. You are the 7th player at this spot. You can use stream points by clicking that little karma right at the bottom of your screen, right where the chat is, one of those sides. You can do that and earn stream points. Every time you tune in, you help us raid, you spread the word, donate bits. That, well, I don't know about spreading the word, it'd be hard to track that, but all of those other things will help you earn stream points that you can use to help your players when they need it the most. Thank you all so much for all your support. Indigo Connect, and hey, do you wonder?
I just want to give people a hug. I just like
Incriminating.
Oh!
Oh!
Because that's how you started.
That's how you started. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Tuesday.
Hi, everybody.
It's Tuesday night here on Indigo Chameleon. Thank you, everybody who's hanging out with us tonight in the chat. And for everybody joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a few announcements before we get started with tonight's game. We have an awesome kick butt Discord. Howdy, y'all. So come on in and hang out with us. The water's fine. There is no water in the Discord. We also have a merch store as well. That merch store is pretty swell. Adventures in Geekdom. Thank you for redeeming your points. We appreciate you. As always, the other spot at the table is for you, dear viewer. You can redeem those points as much as you would like, and help with assisting our players for the hard stuff that they got coming down the pipeline. Adventures in Geekdom. That was so sweet. Alo, you have a +5 to a roll to be able to be used, thanks to Adventures in Geekdom. Upcoming schedule for this week. We have a lot of exciting things coming down the pipeline this week. Tonight is Tuesday. It's time for a little wonder. We don't have anything going on tomorrow, but do you guys have anything you want to plug? Any podcast, other shows you might be guesting on, anything like that? That's okay. We encourage you to hang out and find something, another show in the Storytellers Union. It is our stream team that we are associated with, so we appreciate them so much, and they always put out good TTRPG awesomeness. We also, so we don't have anything going on Wednesday, but on Thursday, you can go and hang out with us at the Lost Isle. The Lost Isle is another game we do here on Indigo Chameleon, and it deals with time travel, and Eric's laughing at something. But yeah, like all sorts of fun stuff on Thursday. On Friday, you can go to Neverland and join us for another game that we do on Friday nights. And join the group as they explore some of the mythos surrounding Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and all of the stories associated with that book from your childhood, all of those stories from your childhood. That's on Friday. Normally, we don't have anything going on Sunday. However, we've got 2 one-shots. We're doing that push towards 1,000 followers. So on Sunday, I stumbled across a one-shot on DM's Guild, and I am deathly, crazy, utterly, fantastically terrified of clowns. And the main antagonist in this is a clown. So I thought this might be a therapeutic in a way.
I want to call him Winnie Pies.
So he's actually based off of someone that Akabuz Bender, Indigo Chameleon, and I have worked with. After doing a bit of digging and historical work, he is based off of Jack the Clown from HHN. And he actually looks like him. I'll post a picture in our Discord later tonight. Exposure therapy, yes, which is not what I thought it was, and I apologize to that therapist still to this day. So join. You can check out our Discord. We got a recruitment post after tonight's show. Icky V. I was talking to Icky V the other night, and I was like, man, I need to play more. She's like, I got an idea for a one-shot, but it's weird. And I'm like, stop selling. So on Monday, this coming Monday, I'll post. Yay, Jupiter! Oh, that's so awesome. Yes, so you should play. Like, send me a private message if you're free. On Monday, all I know about this one shot is this: each of the characters will be playing a druid, level 7, and you need an animal companion. That is the only stipulation set forth. Every character will be a druid, every character will be level 7, and each one will have you must choose an animal companion of some sort.
Interesting.
So I'll post the details about that. So thank you, Icky V. She's an amazing DM, and she's one of the players on our Lost Isle group. So yeah, I'll post a recruitment there. But if any of those sound very interesting to you, like I said, come hang out with us on the Discord and send me a notification. I know that a lot of people are going a little stir crazy right now, myself included. So yes, please. Hi, Krelith, welcome. Yeah, I think that's it in terms of announcements, because on Tuesday we cycle back around. Do not forget, even though this campaign, Wonder, is ending, you can still see these lovely players as we transition away from Wonder into Wander. Wanderlust is a new campaign that we are going to be starting up that's set in Wildmount, and I just get more and more excited the more it's officially a Discord with the most little notes in it. Look at this beautiful person. Hello, 12 for 10 cents. Thank you for joining us. So yes, so that'll be starting up in June, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts up
Yep.
in June, which is sneaking up. And there'll be more information and little character teases and things of that sort on the Discord as we get closer. I think that's it for announcements. I've talked your ear off enough. I think that's it for upcoming schedule. So, once upon a time, in Thoe's Not Here, the heroes found themselves at a get-together at the governor's mansion. We actually started the episode with a combat session, and it's Allo had decided the previous episode to take justice into his own hands and fling it outward as a sign of open rebellion towards a group of individuals that had his mother captive. Oh, thank you, Indigo Jima. That's very sweet. As the battle commenced, it was a hard-fought battle with some twists and turns throughout. The introduction of a tabaxi that really did not like Mandrake. We're still not sure if Castle Master played last week, or if he wasn't there, or if he was there. We still have to watch the tape. But I encourage you to go back if you want to see high-level combat at its finest, and the group juggling quite a few things. TLDR, the group managed to rescue Allo's mother in a carriage bound for safety. The carriage brought them a little ways down the road, and all of them beaten, bloodied, and missing quite a few spell slots, those of them that have them. They found themselves settling down for a rest, and what could go wrong? Something did. Queen Mab manifested in the clearing, and after Thoe used a proper name, a name that encompassed quite a few facets of a god that meant quite a bit to her, the god was summoned into the clearing. Thoe, Enwin, and Mab disappeared in a flash of winter wind. Hello, Arkeni and Grim. That's very sweet. I'll say this: the first person to make a roll that I think really, really needs this is going to get a +5 from Grim. So everybody say thank you, Grim.
Thank you, Greg.
Thanks,
All
Graham.
right, thank you. That's good. And that is where we are immediately going to pick up. So, gang, Thoe was just in the clearing, and let's actually go ahead and do this. Thoe was just in the clearing, and then you watched as she vanished from view.
That is physically painful.
Oh, I'm sorry. As she disappeared. She was in the clearing with Enwin and with Mab, what you now know to be Mab, and they disappeared from sight in a flash of arcane light.
Did all three of them disappear, or was it just Thoe and Enwin?
Nope, all three of them.
Okay.
Does anyone have any idea of where she has gone to? I mean, people like that just don't leave like that, do they?
They do when they make deals with the Fae.
Yes, they bite.
Well, then how are we supposed to find her? She can't be too far gone, can she?
Extra
What are we
players
supposed to do
would
right
not be
now?
out of the question.
Find someone that can help track her down, something.
She wanted this. Whatever happens, that's on her.
So we're supposed to just leave her to her own devices and let her die out there, or whatever.
She chose to do this. We're at our end right now. We need rest. We can't be running off to bail her out when she's making dumb decisions.
Mandrake, what do you need, buddy?
Are the symbols on me glowing?
They were. For a brief second, you were lit up like a Christmas tree. But now that glow, while it was a bright flash in the pan, has now left almost completely. There's a faint glow when you walk by Allo.
Okay.
Anyway, Stoey made it
They're gone.
she made it pretty clear she didn't want us interfering. She said to trust her.
Well, until she gets back, Mandrake, I need to do some work on you, and that I have another project in mind. Humphrey, come here.
As you say, Humphrey, come here. There is, I want to say identical to the spot where Thoe just left. There is an audible, almost the sound of that banishment spell kicking in. And falling to the ground is a bronze cylindrical tube. The bronze tube is open on both ends with odd symbols all along the bronze tube. It appears in the space and then just falls lightly to the ground.
If it's close to me, I would look at it and see if I recognize the symbol.
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
Assisting.
Okay.
So you get this at advantage.
Investigation. Nat 1.
You have it at advantage. I'm assisting.
Oh, okay.
What is tube? How do
Me
tube?
no know.
16.
16. With Trovic's help, you're like, I don't think this is anything. And then he flips it around. And you go, oh, okay. Yeah, you take a quick look at it. It's not any sort of language. It looks to be numbers.
I would relay that to everyone else.
What numbers are they?
Depending on how you look at it, it's hard to say. It's a tube. All of them are represented in different ways, but geez, 1, 3, 2, 7, 5, 7, 9, 8, 3. It's a repeating number around the tube.
Okay.
Like the numbers all vary at different points all throughout.
Okay.
Okay. As you're looking at it and you're going, huh, that's weird. There is another. As 4 or 5 other items drop into the space. Various bric-a-brac. What looks to be a clamp of some sort. What looks to be a screw top for something. And a gem, a ruby gem. It looks to be five unique items that fall into this space. I'm going to list them off one time. So any of you that are interested in this particular facet of it that would be paying attention, here's what you're going to find. Alongside the tube, you find a clamp that's made out of the same material. Okay? Almost like that you would find on like a workbench of some sort. A red gem it's a red gem. You would find what looks to be a piece of charcoal used for marking, some scraps of paper, a piece of glass, and a silver key.
Interesting.
So 6 items. 7 if you count the tube.
Andrew's going to cast Mage Hand and just reach out and grab the red gem and just try to bring it to him.
Okay, you take 30 points of lightning damage. I'm kidding. No, it's fine.
Oh,
the red gem.
well, dang.
No,
His mage hand isn't invisible, correct?
his mage hand is not invisible.
It's going to do this whole like across the floor. Just or
My mage hand will slap in front of it.
Edgar and Mandrake, give me dexterity checks. Each of you roll dex to see.
Mage hand some more.
Just a straight. Let's see. Here we go. You are not going to get me, buddy. If it is okay, that's 24.
Did you roll a what's your dex, Edgar?
Well, I had a +5 to dex.
You rolled the 19.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, you win. I got 13, 17.
Yeah, Edgar's spectral hand jumps over it as if to anticipate your invisible hand. Making its way forward.
Yay!
He
And
has been mage hand blocked a lot.
Mitch.
Season wrap, y'all. Season wrap.
Well, we had a good run, okay. Edgar.
It's been great.
Edgar, you pick up the red jewel.
He's gonna just get that the jewel into his hand. He's just gonna hold up to his eye and just kind of see if catch any like light coming through it from any source at all.
It's fairly
looking at
dark.
it?
As you make your way over to the fire and you hold it up to the light, give me an investigation check.
Investigation. 7.
7. No, you don't notice any sort of catching of the light. You shine using the fire as ambient light, you shine through the ruby and the gem, and nothing seems to happen. There doesn't appear to be any sort of imagery or anything associated with it. But yeah. With a 7, it doesn't look like a ruby of any sort. There's too many, and you don't know what sort of gem this is.
He's gonna walk over then and just hand off to Trovic.
You seem to be the person that knows quite a lot about many little things, and you can have this little thing here.
Thank you.
Yes. Don't mention it.
Oh, well, if you insist.
Trovic,
Yes.
would you care to join me in the lab? We could maybe take a look at all of these things. And you had some adjustments you wanted to make?
There were a few things, yes. I need to do some basic repair work on you. There's another project I had in mind. Yes, the lab would be lovely.
Okay. So, Trovic, you're taking the jewel with you, the ruby. The tube, do you have that as well?
I think Mandrake still has the tube. Yeah?
Mandrake has the tube.
I would have gathered the object to bring them down into the lab with us.
Okay. The two of you head down into the lab. I need to reiterate this. You are all not with a level of exhaustion, but are pretty exhausted at this point. I'm not going to set it up so that you guys like have to take a watch or anything like that, but if you're going to, I need to know what's going on because Mom and Dad are passed out. Okay? They are out for the night.
I'll take first watch.
Okay. Is it just Edgar?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn my 4th level spell slot for Fabricate, and I'm going to make the ring that I was talking to Nyx about in the last game.
Okay.
Out of some gold and silver that I'm pulling out of Doc's bag.
Okay.
So I'm going to use it to form the ring, and then I'm going to use my final infusion on that.
Okay. You're designing a ring of protection.
I am designing a ring of protection with his family crest on it, so it looks like a signet ring.
Okay. Give me just give me a straight up intelligence check. This is something that you can normally do, but I just want to see with the level of exhaustion that you're facing right now. I totally support this.
That makes sense.
But
Absolutely.
Yeah.
17.
17. It's not your finest work, but your family crest is emblazoned upon the ring. The inherent magics is just a natural part of your study of magic. What does it look like when you're infusing this?
In this case, since I'm down in the lab for it, I have small jeweler's tools. I have it just put around the horn of the rather modest anvil that's in the lab, and I'm just very carefully engraving it with the symbols around the edge of the ring.
Okay. Understood.
Eyes on minute seeing. Yay.
Yeah, that's
detail work.
Fine detailed work. So Edgar's going to take the first watch. Who's taking second watch?
That, I'm crashing. I'll take third, but after that...
You're taking third.
He can work on me during... Oh, no, that doesn't work. I was going to say you could work on me during second watch, and then I remain motionless.
I can work on you during third, If you exit the lab, I'll just come out and like I'll repair you during third watch.
So Mandrake and Trovic are taking third watch.
Second watch.
Yep.
Got it. All right. Nyx and Otto. Perfect. Okay. First watch goes on. And as that happens, give me a perception check, Edgar, as you smoke your pipe weed and survey your surroundings late at night.
Ah, yes. Perception. That is going to be a 18.
Okay. 18. Edgar, you're keeping watch. You guys are a little ways away. You got the fire set up. Everybody's resting for the evening. You're a little ways away from where that interaction with Thoe happened. Until Thoe is going to fall from that portal that opens up and hit the ground unconscious. Thanks to a nat 1 con save. Next to her is a wooden trunk that seems to hit the ground hard as well. And a cage.
A cage, okay. I'm immediately going to run over to her and cast Cure Wounds.
Hang on, before you do this, you go running over to her. And as you come over to where Thoe is, the ground around her is singed. It's hot, dude. It's like where she hits the ground and her skin touches the ground, you see little tiny wisp of smoke that start rising up from the ground around her, like sort of floating off into the night sky. And as you bring your hand forward to get close to her, give me a perception check.
Let's see, perception. That is going to be a 26.
26. You wave your hand close, and something instinctively kicks off in the back of your head. A little tiny voice that's like, "Pull your hand back." And it's a good thing you did, because as you bring your hand close to her to see if she's all right, she's giving off so much heat that you almost take fire damage as you bring your hand close to her and pull it back very, very suddenly. To stop you from feeling the warmth that is radiating off of her body.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it. Then I'm going to cast Mage Hand and see if I can like move her a little bit and try to like get her become conscious.
You shove her. Give me a death saving throw, please.
Oh God. 18.
18. That's a success. You can go ahead and do that. She is unresponsive. She is not responding to your. So a success.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
she is not responding to your summons or anything along those lines. But you do see the grass starting to smoke even more as like little like bits of smoke, like I said, like float up off of the ground.
Gotcha. Then I'm going to use Healing Word and see if I can give her some health.
Okay. Yeah.
D4. So I'm going to do that at 3rd level. So, that is going to be 15 points of health.
Okay.
And I'm just going to shout out to whoever's around, like.
Now, hang
everyone
on. Are you waking everybody up, and knowing that they're not going to get a long rest? It is your prerogative to do. It is your thing to do. But I need to clarify.
Dang. I mean, knowing that man, he'd probably be too focused on trying to sustain her.
So
versus anything else.
several things happen. This might make your decision for you. You extend your hand and cast Healing Word. You feel the magic leaving you. As a bard, your magic is tied to your connection to the arts and how you express that in some way. Your words form a connection to your magic in such a way that as you extend your hand, you see almost a manifestation of the Healing Word enter in and heal Thoe. You feel better now?
I feel much better.
Okay, good.
Okay.
As that happens, do you know what a heat sink is?
Yes.
The heat that was gathered around Thoe goes into the earth. Immediately where Thoe is, with that healing word, around her in a 60-foot radius circle, the plants, everything around her at that point dies. It is immediately like burned to ash, charcoal, done, done, done. It's dead, it's gone, it's not coming back. But as Thoe sits up, Thoe, you are not healed for 15, you are healed for full, as if you
Okay.
have had a long rest. You still need to rest.
Got it.
Does Thoe look different?
Yes, though he looks different. I
Okay.
have to math here for a second. 1, 2, 2. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I need to. Okay. She is. Her wings are clear. Almost crystalline now. She doesn't look that. She has her leg back.
Thank God.
She has 2 legs now. And other than that, she almost looks. I don't want to say frostbitten, but there's like her skin, her hair is the same, but it's almost got crystalline on it, bits of ice and or frost. If you think about like say vines in the winter that are covered in that frost, I think that was it. Oh, she had one blue eye before. Now both of them are blue.
Thoe sits up. There is a disconnect between what she is saying and doing and her body. You ever seen somebody wake up from a nightmare, Chris?
Yes.
Or they're sleepwalking, and it's this odd sense of like they're looking at you, but they're not looking at you. They're looking at whatever the last thing they were thinking about was.
Yeah.
As Thoe does, you see this physical transformation all over her, the crystals in the hair and things like that. And as she looks at you, she extends a hand outward and grabs you by your shirt and brings you forward as 2 tears fall down from her eyes, both of them freezing as they come out of her eyes and touch her skin. And she says these words.
I will always love you.
She says, I will always love you. And as those tears come down and freeze, those eyes roll in the back of her head, and she falls asleep. Next to this wooden crate, and next to this bird cage holding an owl.
Okay. If she's passed out, I'm gonna. I don't. Can I touch her now, or is?
Yeah. Her body temperature is normalized. She is fine. Like she's asleep.
Okay. Then I'm gonna. I'm assuming I have my pack with me, so I'm just gonna grab my bedroll and just like try to put it underneath her, her head, just try to make her comfortable while she sleeps, and just leave her there. Just let her rest.
The owl's a little restless. The owl looks like it's trying to get out of the cage, but for the most part, like she's. You put the bedroll underneath her, and you kind of leave her there to sleep. She sleeps soundly.
Cool. Okay, I'll just continue on the watch and just until somebody comes and then say, "Hey guys, this."
Sure.
You'll never guess what I just found.
I found a Thoe.
Sure. Sure enough, that's first watch. We're going to now move into second watch as Edgar's like, you're not going to believe the shit I
Guess
just
what
saw.
I found.
Like, yeah.
And that's Nick's, right? He's up next.
Yeah.
And Olo.
Okay. Nix and Olo.
Okay, so we see.
Yeah. TLDR, Edgar explains the events that happened.
Gotcha.
Let her rest.
Okay.
Olo.
If you say to let her sleep, I will let her sleep.
And then Edgar's gonna walk back to camp and get some sleep.
Nix and Olo, I need a perception check from one of you or from the two of you. So, your call.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not.
help you do it.
Oh, really? We're both int-based.
Yep.
Okay, so I have
To be wisdom
advantage.
based.
You are, yes, you have advantage.
Okay. They were both pretty good. Perception. 19.
Okay. 19. Okay. Yeah, the two of you sit around the fire at one point. And there is one point in the evening, I want to say about 2 hours into your watch, about halfway through, where you would hear just, with the 19, you'd hear a shuffling in the bushes not too far away.
I'll message Olo then. There's something in the bushes.
I will move to check it out.
So you're leaving mom and dad.
How far away is this?
I think it's about 30 feet away.
Oh, no. Hard pass. I will just kind of acknowledge that there is something there, but...
Cool.
They're not leaving my sight.
Olo gives a small nod to you, being like, yeah.
Cool.
I'll
becomes the problem. I'll
get up then.
Big world,
and go
lot of bushes.
check it out.
I don't, yeah.
I'll go check it out then.
Okay. You'll make your way over towards where you heard the sound from before.
Yeah.
Okay. There is nothing there. However, as you are there, you hear a cough another 30 feet beyond that. As if the cough was waiting for you to get to this point and then coughing so that you would move, if you wanted to, another 30 feet beyond that.
Can I message at where I heard that from, or do I need to see the person?
You are going to point in a random direction. It is high odds that you are going to hit the specific thing that you are trying to hit. Even higher if it's not just a random like creature. It could just be the wind or something along those lines. So you can certainly try.
I'm gonna aim at where that cough was and go, what do you want?
Probability dice.
Probability. All right. 75.
75. You hear a small voice in your head that sounds vaguely familiar to you, and it's Master.
I'm sorry, what?
Master.
Excuse me? I'll say that out loud. I won't message it.
A small gnome will walk out of the bushes not too far away. You recognize this as one of the servants of your castle. During your time, this was Lansley. Lansley worked in the castle when you were growing up. He was a groomsman for the stables.
All right. I'm still wearing the disguise, by the way.
Yes.
But that's fine.
But when you messaged, it was your voice.
Yes. Okay. You said Langsley?
Lansley.
Lansley. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Dobby. I should not let you have this much free time in the chat.
What are you doing here?
I come with a message from the lady. He says this out loud now because unless you're messaging him again.
No, I'm just talking out loud.
I come with a message from your sister.
What's the message?
Shall I approach?
You may come closer, yes.
He comes forward a little bit. You see, time has not been kind to him. He's somewhat on in years. He walks with a small cane at his side, little wooden cane that comes out to about chest height, a gnarled branch that he uses to walk forward. As he comes forward, you see that his hair is a little unkempt. You're not sure how he tracked you down, but he comes forward to where you are, and in his hands is a small white crystal.
I'll take it.
Okay.
What's this?
It is a message, sir, from your sister, who remains in the dungeon.
I know.
She asked me to give it to you with the strictest orders not to hand it over to anyone who was not to you specifically. She told me to arrive here at this time of day, at
I
this
appreciate it.
place.
How did she know I'd be here?
I did not think to ask, sir.
All right. What are you going to do now?
I wasn't sure, sir. I'd find some other means to hide away.
Yeah, you can't go back to the castle until this is over. It's not safe.
No, sir. I would not deem to. I'm sure I
I
can find
appreciate
an inn or tavern if I can afford to stay there.
I have no money on me.
Of course, sir. No, I'm sorry to.
No,
I hear
No, I'm saying that. I'm
Yes.
saying that out of
Although it's
character.
30
I'm not
feet
saying.
away. It's 30
I'm not
feet
telling
away.
him I have no money.
Yeah.
No, but you have said it before.
It's 30 feet away. Yeah. At this point, if they're speaking out
Yeah.
loud, you would hear the tail end of this conversation.
We don't have much to spare, as you might understand, but here, and Alo is going to Nyx throw up the little bag that I had the 6 golden nuggets in.
Okay. Cool. He takes the bag and looks inside and bows his head and without another word disappears into the night air.
All right. Do I recognize the thing he gave me? Like, how I'm supposed to? Cool. I'm going to cast Identify for 11 minutes to figure out what it is.
Cool. You spend 11 minutes casting Identify. This is a stored memory. This is a form of crystal that can store memories inside of them. It's a fascinating bit of magic that seems to capitalize on almost think some mixture between a pensieve and a remember.
Okay.
In Harry Potter parlance.
But I have no idea how to use it.
As you identify it, you realize that the memory is stored within it, and simple breakage or puncture of it will break the memory. Will allow you to experience the memory. It will play as if it was a major illusion with sound and sight.
Ooh. I'm gonna wait till people aren't sleeping then.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Got it. You have your tiny crystal with you, and you finish your watch without any sort of interruption. Otto.
I would like to interrupt his watch.
Please.
When he comes back over shortly after, at some point, I'm going to just kind of look over, go, thank you for helping with them, and kind of like indicate the parents.
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
You just don't have to. I have not exactly been kind to you.
It's the right thing to do. It doesn't matter.
I might have slightly overreacted earlier, and for that I am apologetic.
These are tough times. Lots going on, and tensions are high, and we're about to go take over a kingdom, hopefully. So
You are going to take over a kingdom. I'm just going to help with the war.
all right. But I understand that things have not been the best here, and I'm supposed to be in charge of that. So you weren't completely in the wrong to think those things.
No, but if it were up to me, I would try to forgive you, but that is be for other people to do. But it is good to know that you do not seem beyond redemption. I think.
I'm just glad we were able to get her out without any major setbacks or injuries.
Sigh. Strange to find you here. She used to stay when I was a child. Does the path choose the walker or the walker the path? And I believe perhaps this time it was the path.
Maybe a bit of both.
Perhaps. Well, that is enough feeling for tonight. Who's next? Just like walks over, just like, hey, wake up!
Oh my god, that was actually one of the sweetest interactions that Otto and Nix have ever had. I was just saying. Sure. Yeah, the two of you wait, and as soon enough, Mandrake and Trovic come out for their third watch. Once again, it's the Chloe, what? And that is explained as she's snoring somewhat heavily off in the corner.
Has she been brought into the camp? Because you said we were a ways from where she disappeared.
No, she has not. She is
Okay.
still asleep in her bedroom.
I'm gonna bring her over to camp, so at least when she wakes up, she's surrounded by friends.
Sure.
Wow, dude, called out. Called out.
Okay, so Trovic, as you take the sleeping Thoe and sort of gently bring her over to the camp, as you move her away from the spot, I'll say this, where Thoe's body was touching the ground, you find glass, a thin layer that goes from the top of her head to the bottom of her toes, where the outline of her body.
Curiouser, curiouser. All right.
Okay.
I will, if Mandrake is going to stand in the camp, I'll mention it to him as I bring Thoe back.
Sure.
If not, then I'm just going to point out, this is a weird, even by our standards, this is a weird.
I would agree.
Would you mind grabbing at least the cage with me? Question, does this bird look familiar?
To Trovic? No.
Now, because I have seen one in a big wishing tree.
You have.
This is not that bird.
Give me a history check with an abnormally large DC.
Cool. 23.
23. Yeah, you know what, pal? I'll give it to you. You have seen this bird before.
Aha. Mandrake, this owl looks a bit familiar. When we first met you, and Thoe, and there was that large tree, and the fellow that was made of vines.
It belongs to him.
Well, best to keep it close just in case, then.
I would agree. And this, and I'll point at the chest.
Oh, I have absolutely no idea.
No, I just think we should keep it close. If it's here, it's here for a reason.
Certainly. All right, I will go ahead and put Thoe down, come back and retrieve the chest, and bring that back over to the camp.
Yeah. Big. It's not even like a solid gold. It's like a wooden chest. It's about this big, but it's not even heavy. It's actually quite light, abnormally light.
And go to pick it up, just all right.
Yeah, it's one of the. You might bop the bottom of your chin with that sort of so yeah, you bring it over and set Thoe up. Thoe does not wake up at all. You could drag her by the arm and it would just be, she's dragged off.
As tempting as that might be, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll set her down, and then while watch is going on, I'm gonna set to work on repairing Mandrake using mending and Humphrey's repair.
Sure, sure. What are you? You're using Humphrey's repair function, and you're just using your time to do this. So I'm not even going to have you make perception checks if you're focused on your work right now.
I am focused on keeping Mandrake in one piece.
Yep.
For now.
Okay.
Until such time as he tells me he's retired, that's my job.
Great. Where are the pieces that you brought?
I have them.
You be more specific.
I would have brought them out with me while he was working on me.
They'd be on the ground?
I would have them laid out in front of me, trying to figure out what they are and how.
Okay. This is going to take an intelligence check. If Trovik, if you'd like to assist in any way with a quick.
Yeah. As he's studying this, I'm gonna like peek over his shoulder as Humphrey's doing a bit of repair work on his own.
Okay.
Would that just give him advantage, or would I make my own investigation? Or my own intelligence?
No, that would give him advantage. Are you doing anything else? Are you doing anything mechanically?
I could attempt to identify on a couple of these.
I rolled 2 17s, so it's a 19.
You start picking up the pieces, start playing with them, putting them together, placing them together. Sure enough, Mandrake stumbles onto something odd. The pieces do not fit together. Like, there's no form or way to, like, oh, and you put them together, it's a goose. Like, no, it's nothing. Like, it's not, like, it's a random, like, bric-a-brac and things like that. However, what Mandrake stumbles upon is a low hum when he puts two of the pieces together on the ground, and Humphrey cocks his head to the side and just gives a like the pitch is too high. And both of your eyes dart to it, and with that, Mandrake kicks over another piece, and that hum grows louder. It's just a random piece of paper touching the pipe, touching the ruby, or touching the gem, and that hum gets even higher.
Arcane resonance?
Only one way to find out, and I'll pull them all together.
Great. Positions of everybody, please. Trovik is behind Mandrake. Humphrey is right next to Mandrake as well.
Yep.
As Mandrake's like, wonder what happens if it... As the atomic bomb goes off. No, that's...
Well, it was nice playing Trovik. Let's go ahead and load up my new character.
You don't feel anything. What happens is, Trovik, there is no portal, there is no pop, there is no sound, there is no change in the area. Before you is a white table. Mandrake is gone, the camp is gone, Humphrey is gone, and you are sitting at a white table in a black expanse with a young man sitting across from you. He looks human-esque, and he's sitting at the table, and he looks up at you and smiles.
Good evening.
Trovik?
That is my name, yes.
How do you feel knowledge should be dispersed?
It should be made available to anyone who wishes to seek it.
Even those that might seek to do wrong with it?
Part of having knowledge is the wisdom to temper it.
Trovik, I'm here with a job opportunity.
And who exactly is it that you represent?
I represent a group of individuals called the Architects. We serve. We believe the same thing. And we have for many, many years. And I know you're a man of science. I actually know a great deal about you. We've been studying you for quite some time, and we've seen how you've taken care of Mandrake. I don't expect a decision from you. Ultimatums and job opportunities do not make for good bedfellows. So I simply ask you to do this. And he reaches to his side and pulls out a simple black journal and slides it across the table to you. gather your thoughts. If that is truly how you feel, contradictory to the kingdom of Fosh, that knowledge should be dispersed and it is not meant to be hoarded, but meant to be given freely. That mechanical constructs like Mandrake deserve a chance to live just as anyone else does. I would be interested to hear what other thoughts you have.
Very well. And I'll take the journal and I'll put it in my bag.
He looks around and he goes, keep the items.
They're yours then.
They're yours now. Keep them, please.
As you wish.
He nods his head to you, and you see true happiness reflected back at you as you take the journal away. And Trovik, as the room starts to grow a little dark, give me a perception check, please. Actually, give me an investigation as you study what's on this young man.
That is a 17 on investigation.
You see an identical journal at his side. Beaten, aged, worn with time, but you see an identical journal at his side.
Is this two-way or just one?
It's not about the answer.
It's about finding it myself.
And then you disappear from the room. Mandrake, you are floating in an empty void. Surrounding you are the swirls and lights of distant constellations that travel around you, through you. You are granted a rare look into a sight that many mortals can't even comprehend. As you are amongst the stars for a time, all of the stars begin to alight, and each one of them responds with a different sort of frequency that you found in the items in front of you. But after a bit of time, that hum, that frequency, begins to increase, and parts of you start to resonate with it. Your hand at first, then your arm, then your body, and then your body in all of its mechanical glory begins to resonate with the vibrations of the stars themselves. Until that vibration slowly turns into a form of communication. It is not a whisper, it is not a shout, it is not even verbal. It's written into your being, as if you've known these answers your whole life. You are introduced to a being known as, that you know them instantly as, let's call them, hang on. Let's call them the consciousness. Okay? They instantly translate to you that there are many like you, but none like you. Because you have the innate treasure of starting organic and becoming one of the consciousness. Does that make sense?
It does.
Below you, as you look down, your eyes pinpoint. They are drawn deeper and deeper as they go further and further through the sky, through the clouds, through the clearing, and before you is your group asleep. And suddenly the scope of the world you are in grows ever larger by the sight that you see. As your eyes turn around again, you reach out, and the consciousness is there. What questions would you ask of it?
Can you give me the power to save them?
You understand, you are not told, you understand that there is no taking, there is no giving. There is an unlocking of a power already inherent in you. But there is no taking, there is no bargain to be met here. But that a part of your humanity will have to be tucked away as you start to come to grips with these two parts of you and start to embrace one more, rather than hold on to the remnants of a part of you that is dying.
I'll put my hand out.
Okay. You put your hand out. As you do, the clay is wiped away from your body. Any remnants of it, any traces of it. The cracks along your skin that were starting to form along your body with every sort of push of power are suddenly filled with a gold filament. The broken parts of you starting to fill over and begin to glow with their own arcane light. As the consciousness reaches out to you, not in a welcome home gesture, but in an acknowledgement of who you always were. You were always Mandrake. You were always the one who spit in fate's face and said no. You were always drawn to the other, to things that were alive but not quite, to things that were looked down upon, and suddenly you are filled with a greater purpose. Your day does not end here. The world is too big for that. You are too big for that. And you are suddenly impressed upon yourself. You should not mourn the fact that you are growing too big for your body. The evil parts of the world should shake and fear that you are growing too big for this body. And you smile. And find yourself back in the clearing with Trovik.
So how are you?
Optimal.
Are you all right, Mandrake?
I am well.
Any compulsion to stand on your head while you think about it?
That isn't logical.
Logic need not dictate all of our actions.
The world without logic is pure chaos.
A bit of chaos leads to innovation.
Even chaos has its rules.
Is that what he told you? I'll like gesture to the spot on my chest where Mandrake's emblem is on his. The symbol of gesture.
He feels differently.
Do you still follow him?
I don't believe I have an answer.
Some questions are best left unanswered. As the rest of the party begins to wake up, stretch, the third watch ending, and oh, what a watch it was. As the third watch begins to end and everyone starts waking up, mother and father are still quite asleep, I think even in the early morning hours. You don't know how it happened, but Alo, you are treated to a rare sight. As your mother is asleep, and your father, in his sleep, is cradling her with her head in his lap, and he's still asleep, but asleep, he's stroking her hair. He's got his hands, and he's just like, and they're still passed out. So I'm going to grant you guys a bit of a reprieve as everyone starts to awaken. Is it 3 men and a little...
long rest at this point, yeah?
Everyone mark down a long rest. You need it. Take that level 15 level up. And all that goes with it.
Thank you.
Mandrake, do you want to share what happened with this level up, or do you want to keep that on the...
We'll keep it.
Okay. Yeah. I imagine that a good portion of this is 3 men and a little lady. As some of you are just standing over Thoe, staring down at her as her eyes flutter open.
Do I know what's in the trunk?
No.
Okay. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for putting me over here. I assume you did. Would I remember falling through? Like I went into unconsciousness when I hit, or I was already unconscious?
You were already unconscious
Okay.
by the time you hit the ground.
How long was I gone?
Moments, it seemed like. Seconds, really.
That's a relief.
But does anyone want to point out the elephant in the room, or the Thoe in the room, for that matter, of her looking differently?
Oh, nobody cared when I put it out last time.
Yes, but understand, like from where I know Thoe to where she is now, starkly different people looking.
She used to be
Zoe's
a very
appearance
vibrant
has
green.
changed multiple times since I've known her. This is not uncommon.
Thank you, Teapot. But this seems a lot.
Am I aware of how different I look?
No. How would you?
Okay, so I'm going to take a moment, based on all of this, to take a kind of mental check, although I wouldn't really see much.
You see
except
no
for,
difference.
Yeah, because I can't see behind me, so...
I'm gonna just extend my mirror to her over Trovik's shoulder somehow. Like having just climbed up on Trovik and just like...
In the most awkward, nice gesture you've ever seen, Alo extends a mirror to you, and you would notice the differences reflected upon you.
All in all, I would say this is a tame difference for the past.
You do have 2 actual legs now.
I do. I think that was part of it.
You also have a small friend that came along. Like, nod over to the cage with the owl.
I do.
Did he give that to you, or did you take it?
Does it matter?
I mean,
I'm
one's
just
a gift
asking.
and one's theft, so...
Let's call him a gift.
I start rethinking all of the presents Maysay's ever given me.
So this isn't unusual. This owl and this crate, and whatever, and her. This is not unusual for you.
The crate?
Yes.
I
the
look
trunk.
over at the crate, because I didn't know there was a crate there.
Yeah, there's a wooden chest about yay big. It looks to be made out of like wood, There's a small latch where you could open it up and look inside if you wanted to.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
I'm going to. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna look at it. I'm gonna open it very gradually, a little bit first.
I need
Just
a D100.
so that I can be ready to be like, bam,
I was hoping-
and close it if I need to.
I was hoping nobody would catch that, Arcady. D100, please.
Yep. That is a 58.
Okay. A small mote of light will fly out of the crate the minute she opens it up. And then would you slam it back down after the first little mote of light came out?
Yes, and then I'm probably going to. Oh gosh, do I still? Yeah. Then I'm gonna detect magic on the crate.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what is in this crate. I'm just gonna be clear on that. I have no idea.
Okay. As the okay. Ooh, cool. As the crate opens and a
oh shoot! I never rolled wild magic on that, did I? Nope. Okay, I'm good.
So you're burning a spell slot.
Yeah.
To do
detect magic.
Okay, before she is able to do that, that small mote of light is going to hit the ground. And as that small mote of light hits the ground, you see a very odd-looking plant. It looks to be made up of like 4 or 5 like wriggling vines. That is, as the mote of light hits the ground, suddenly in the space are these 4 or 5 like long vines that are just moving around, looking to reach out to any sort of movement or light or life in this space.
Like in an aggressive way?
Like in a very aggressive way.
Just making sure.
What does my detect magic tell me about it?
The box is strictly 100% conjuration magic.
Whew.
You got it, Ark.
I think perhaps I should do a little bit more research on the box before opening it fully.
I'm inclined to agree.
The vines appear to be aggressive. Are they staying in place, or are they like...
These particular vines are staying in place. I'm going to say they're about 20 feet away from you, and as long as no one goes next to them, you're fine.
All right, I wouldn't touch the vines.
Good plan.
All right. Oh, Nix, that reminds me, for whatever reason, here you are. And I'll present him the ring of protection.
Of course. Thank you. I'm gonna go.
You may need to attune to that.
I'm gonna go do that.
Fantastic.
So we're staying away from the wooden crate and those wild vines for now.
The vines outside the crate, yes.
Yes.
The box should be fine as long as no one else opens it. I would assume.
For now. I mean, I could always open it a little bit and see if other vines pop out or if something else does.
Let's ballpark that for much, much later.
Hang on. Are you doing this?
Not yet, but I'm really tempted to.
Okay.
It'll happen at some point.
All right.
Trust me, guys, I have a plan.
Hey!
I would think Trovic would want me to more than anyone else. This is scientific now.
Yeah, you got the wrong brother there. All those I mean, it's not the worst idea.
We already have one sample size. We don't need more. It's fine.
But what if it's a different kind of vines or something else?
Don't we, though?
And we need to study this one first.
Okay.
I'm not a botanist. I'm an artificer.
Damn it. Damn it, Jim.
We had one, and then he walked out. We got it barred.
Upgrade.
Do nature, man. I work in a lab.
Well, sorry, I mean, above all, where did you go?
That is a good question.
I needed to go to finish what needed to be done.
When did it get finished?
Nix, you can call Edwin as much as you want now. Go ahead.
I'm attuning a ring like away from.
I think
busy right now.
I think it's funny if you say that like a ways away. You're like, I'm attuning. So if you want to call him, that's we're fine.
Busy
here.
right now. Sorry, I'm doing the thing.
Do the thing.
The thing.
Busy.
We're
I
fine.
mean, like I would,
here.
like I would, okay, but like I'm super busy right now, okay, but I will later when I want to. Okay? Like right now, I'm busy. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're fine. How are you?
We're in conversation anyway. Oh, we're gonna have company.
Is he dead? So he saw.
When you say that, you go, "Is he dead?" The cage. There is a big like flapping of wings of the cage as there is another burst of energy from the owl located inside, trying to break its way out.
Will anyone please calm that devilish bird?
The deal seems agitated.
Perhaps you should console your new friend, Chloe.
Do I need to console my new friend? My friend
No.
will be just fine.
You're not going to keep her in the cage the whole time, are you?
I don't know yet.
All right.
Right now, that's where she lives.
And everyone is just fine with.
I mean, do we have a choice?
I have seen so many strange, bizarre things in my time.
Yes, we've all watched you look in the mirror. Yes, we know.
Quiet down, little man.
You take 2 points. You take 2 points of burn damage.
I'm turning around and putting on sunscreen.
Olivier would help better.
I thought Allo had no spell slots. Apparently, he's got vicious mockery though. So apparently that's it.
Weird. Why do you sound like my inner voice? That's so weird.
Well, it's just crazy to me that all this is happening, and no one seemed to bat an eye. And this one is talking funny, and then we have this owl and Zoe, and the parents are all just there, and it's not weird to anybody.
No, they are going to leave soon. Do not worry.
Well, not without telling us a great story of your childhood, friend.
I could tell you stories about his childhood. You've just never asked.
Now, moving on, Zoe.
Oh my god, I think I love Edgar.
I gotta go.
So I
say
you're sure?
Yeah. You're
I'm
sure.
I'm sure of what?
That you're here. You're fine. You're
I am
at your
here.
wits. You're fine.
I am fine. Things
Then-
happened as they needed to, and it's done.
Then I suppose that's all I need to hear. I'm fine as well, I suppose.
Shall we wake mother and father and at least prepare breakfast?
This is probably not a bad idea.
Great, you wake up mom and dad. I'm gonna eat some food.
Why do I have to wake them up? It was your idea. You no.
Sorry,
Come
can't
back.
hear you. Breakfast is.
Trovik, you spent a little bit of time gathering food. Thoe, you can also mark down a long rest in case you need it for spell slots and things of that sort. I would say that area where Thoe fell is still pretty outlined, and in the light of day, it's a little easier to spot. You would see like the glass and the 60-foot radius like charcoal like grass. Although you head over there and wake up mom and dad, who as you come over and you're like, it's time to, they like grab you and pull you in for, you know, Trovik knowing exactly like this would happen. It was either going to happen to him or to you. But you are pulled in, and Mother will come out of it and just sort of grab you by the face and look at you and say, "What you did was very stupid."
What I did?
What
you did was very stupid. We got you out so that you could be safe, and you decided to come back. Exactly. Now, breakfast is done, and he like turns around and is just like, oh god, oh god, oh god. She's gonna kill me.
As you turn around, she kind of looks at you and she's like studying you, but you see Dad looking at her like, oh god, oh god, oh god, she's gonna kill him. And instead she looks over at your father, and he looks at her and he says very plainly, he's your son.
He's your son.
And she goes, he's your son too. And Dad like goes, I think I'm gonna go help Trove get some breakfast. And gets up and
It's like as he comes over, I just kind of look. So that went well then.
Oh my god! I thought he was going to die. Yeah.
Oh, it just pops up. I also thought that I was going to die. So
you all are treated, for some of you that participate, a very light but very good breakfast. As Arlo's parents are full of conversation, like they're just sort of talking to one another, asking how they were, and what happened, and sharing small details of how she was on patrol one night. She was working with a small rebellion at the city's capital, and she has a few people that are sympathizers to it. She had one in particular that she thought was a sympathizer, but turns out it was not, and you immediately recognize the captain of the guard that was sent to fetch you as the man who sold your mother, sold your mother out. She fought off probably 8 or 9 individuals before she was finally taken down, and then was spent many a time being transported to this particular party while the cat talked. She only knew it was a cat or a tabaxi because of the sneezing. She's not a cat person. So even with the hood and being tied up, she was constantly having to fight with as this person prattled on and talked incessantly about how he was the great grandson of Cheshire, and how he was going to return the name to glory, and that's how he was told by Cheshire. Yes, Mandrake.
Oh no, I can wait till you're done.
Yeah, and just you guys basically spend breakfast with her regaling and Dad nodding at the appropriate places, gasping at the appropriate times, and just sort of soaking up. You catch him more than once looking at Trovik and smiling, looking at you, Olo, and smiling, and just kind of reminiscing about those times where you guys would sit down and eat breakfast together. It's such a normalized activity. Mandrake.
So during that conversation, I would be examining that potion that I got last episode.
You do not
just kind of.
You do not have the identify spell.
I don't.
Okay.
But I would. I know I have advantage on alchemy checks and things like that due to Bartholomew being in the hat.
Sure.
So, like, I would just be trying to figure out what it is, but very methodically, which is not normal for Mandrake, except for when she started talking about the grandson of Cheshire.
Yeah.
Then I would get very much the old Mandrake.
Yeah. I get it. So I wasn't kidding before. The bottle contains a soul.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Before we go anywhere, I'm gonna talk to Trovic, because I want to open that box again.
You want to open the box again?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Cool.
This box seems like it could be a very useful thing, but we need to understand it better. I know that it's conjuration of some sort.
What's in the box?
Perhaps while we're in a safe place, we can do just a little bit of minor experimentation, just to understand its nature slightly better, so that if we get in a situation where it could be useful, we at least know what it is that we're dealing with. It could be argued that we're in a more controlled setting right now, and we have 6 of us, and perhaps it might be good to understand just a little bit more of its nature. You can't tell me you're tempted not to open it just a little bit, just once or twice.
It's your chest. If you wish to open it, that is your business. However, I'm going to be loading the car.
Okay, is anybody else on board with a little bit of experimentation?
Olive is just like immediately. There's no movement. He just is next to you. Just like, yep.
Edgar's casting prestidigitation, having the hand pointing down at himself, being like,
All right, are you ready?
What are you looking for this time when you open the box?
What am I looking for?
Are you
I'm
doing
trying
anything?
another open, close. I want to see if the same thing comes out or if something new comes out.
Okay, a tiny, once again, as it is a real quick, and the same tiny wisp of light comes out of the box. Go ahead and give me a D100, please.
Oh, is this a wild magic box? That is an 83.
Oh, God, okay. The little wisp of light, who's by Thoey?
Nope.
Smaller and smaller over there.
Yeah, the short ones.
The short
I'm from either side of her.
Cool. Breakfast is being finished, and people are trying to figure out what they're going to do. When Thoey opens the box, and you guys all look for the for the plant to manifest. Instead, a very large rhinoceros ends up in the clearing. There is a large roar as this rhinoceros looks pissed. He is going to go ahead and make no, hang on. That's going to stay right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Although you are being charged by a giant rhinoceros as this thing comes running at you in a straight line to make an attack. Let's see if it hits. 23 to hit.
I am going to burn my reaction to get my shield up.
Okay.
And, no.
Okay. There is a loud clang of metal, which all eyes are diverted to, as now in the clearing at the campsite with you guys is a large rhinoceros. I'm not gonna have you guys roll initiative. Let's play a little fast and loose with this because I don't think this tiny challenge rating 2 rhino is gonna provide too hard of a match for you. Should you try to deal with it? But I'll say this, since you 3 are the closest to it, Thoey and Edgar, what are you 2 doing?
I'm going to try to frostbite it on the butt to get it to run away, because I don't want to kill it if I don't have to.
Frostbite it on the butt.
Yep.
Give me an attack roll, followed by animal handling.
He has to make a con save of 18, or he gets
Okay.
frostbite on the butt.
He makes it with a 21. Rhinos have a pretty good con.
Alright, does that mean half damage? I have to remember. No, it's a cantrip, so I don't think
It does
so.
no damage as
Yeah.
you shoot an icicle at his butt.
Well, that didn't work.
Give me animal handling, though,
Okay.
to see if you can...
17.
17. 17, yeah. The ice, while not doing a bunch of damage, is enough to send it as you manage to sort of direct it off to a portion of the forest as this rhino goes skittering off into the early morning sun into the forest.
So not completely predictable.
But not terrible.
It wasn't
So we have
terrible.
vines and an angry rhinoceros.
Third time's a charm, right?
It's in every book I've ever read. That's the case.
I mean, we could stop there because now we know it's not predictable.
But things are better in odd numbers.
Go ahead.
Well, it
Is
really
Mandrake-
is the 3 of us deciding if we want to see the full range of possibilities with this particular chest, right?
Aye.
Do we try one more time?
Yes.
What do you think,
Oh
Olive?
no. Come on.
Fine.
Yes!
Ah!
Terrible idea. I love it.
Terrible idea. Third time's the charm. That is a 23.
Come on, big money.
Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay. Once again, is it a real quick open and close?
Yep.
Okay. Another swarm of light. What was it again?
23.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. A swarm manifests in the area. It is a swarm of really tiny dragons. All of them a little like purple indigo color. As the swarm of dragons manifest in the space. And looks around, and it's going to, since Thoe is the one closest to the box, the first thing that happens is they all seem to in unison go, and exhale a very purpley, sparkly gas in Thoe's direction. Thoe, I need a con save, please.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out we
That
haven't even
is
left the camp
a
yet.
18 plus 8. 26.
26. You feel, you take a deep breath in of this this gas, and you're like, and you manage to shake it off as the swarm stays there. For their second attack, they are going to fly into Thoe's space and just occupy the same space that she is, kind of swarming in her direction a tiny bit. Oh, no, you got some. Oh, look at you making stuff happen. And then they are all going to simultaneously try to bite her with a 11. Does that hit?
No.
No, they are unable to do so. But this swarm is now occupying the same space as Thoe, and they're all just sort of swarming around trying to bite her.
I'm going to proceed to sit on the cart and watch.
Okay. I'll say this, Edgar, you didn't get a turn last turn. What would you like to do?
Ooh, I'm trying. I want to charm one of them because I want to keep it.
Okay.
Or at least get. Actually, no. I should probably get him away from Thoe. So I'm gonna run up on one of them and hit it with my my rapier.
So this is a swarm. So when you hit one, you kind of hit all. They're acting all together. So you're just gonna start like Okay, give me an attack. Give me an attack roll.
Yeah. Okay. That is going to be a 20, not net.
That's gonna hit. Roll damage.
13 points of damage.
Okay. You see some of the little tiny dragons fall and hit the ground and stuff like that as a bit of the swarm is taken away, but yeah, but the good majority of them are still flying around, just kind of buzzing around Thoe's head. What's everybody else doing?
Just kind of like, this seems a little.
Where's the owl?
I'm gonna hit her if I try to hit them.
The
So I'm just.
owl is in a cage, right where Thoe left it.
Cool.
That's fine.
Cool.
I'm going to encourage them to disperse.
How?
I'm going to say, shoo, dragons, you're really cute. Please go. Don't bite me anymore.
As you speak to them, you're like, shoo, shoo. They do not understand you.
Oh. I don't want to hurt them.
They do not speak common.
Well,
But they will go again. I need another con save, please.
Okay. That's 17.
This one fails as Thoe begins to. Her entire body is wrapped with laughter. As Thoe just starts laughing uncontrollably. She hits the ground, she's like rolling around like this. She's almost, one could describe her as incapacitated with laughter, unable to take any actions or reactions. As she is just laughing uncontrollably with this. So she's just rolling on the ground, laughing as these little tiny pixie dragons swarm her. Everybody else just watching?
No, I am going to go pick up his little cage, make sure she can see from the back of the cart, and set her on the back of the cart with.
I was just gonna look at some of the casters and be like, eh?
If you gesture toward Tropic, he's just gonna put his hand like this, lean on his knee, and just go.
The owl responds poorly as you pick up the cage, but then as you set it down and turn, it almost gets the idea. It looks smarter than probably an average owl. Give me an insight check, Trovic.
Okay. 23.
You don't know if they're capable, but this one looks like it's smiling a little bit, as though he's on the ground, as these things kind of swarm her person, flying over her at various points. So, Mandrake.
Mandrake's gonna walk over, stand over Thoe, and cast Sword Burst. so that it goes around me, but doesn't hit her under me.
The swords fly around you. They are not going to hit the dragons as well. They are just going to hit you. They are in her space, my dude. They are swarming her. The only thing that they have is they are occupying the same space that she is in. So you can do this.
I'm sorry. I thought when she fell to the ground, they would still be above.
Nope.
So when I stepped over her.
No, I mean, you can do this, but she's going to take a little damage too.
Then I won't do it.
Okay. Thoe, you are incapacitated, but go ahead and give me another con save.
Nat 20.
Okay, yep, you shake it off. These little dragons are flying around you at this point. I'm going to have them go next, because that was the end of your turn. They're going to sting you again with a nat 20.
I probably deserve it.
You take... How much do you take? Ooh, you take 20 points of piercing damage. As this swarm goes to town.
Fine. I really didn't want to hurt them. I guess we're gonna have to.
I mean, I guess I should have just cast Sword Burst.
All right. I don't want to waste that spell slot. I could make them go.
If she's still on the ground and they're above her, I'm just gonna start slapping at them, I guess.
Give me an attack roll, a slap attack.
Can I get two?
You can get two slap attacks. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
The sath roll.
That's pretty sure. Yeah, that's a 19 and a 26.
They both hit. Roll damage.
There. Unarmed strike is 8 flat.
8 flat for each.
Piece. Yeah.
Yep. With that, there is a yeet yeet as both of those hands, which are considered deadly weapons in all of Wonderland, slap the swarm of pixie dragons into oblivion.
They were really cute.
They were, but perhaps we don't. We'll just stop there.
Okay.
For now.
I think it was a very successful experiment. We understand more about this crate.
We do understand more. Yes.
Yes.
Edgar's walking over to pick up one of the dragons that he knocked out, and just gonna grab him like, yes, we learned a lot today. He's gonna hang on to it.
I feel like he is going to eat that. This is not something I want to watch.
Sure.
Edgar,
Edgar, give me an investigation check.
Because those are things that I know how to do well. Investigation.
How about this? You can trade out Arcana for this, or Nature. Arcana, Nature, or Investigation.
To be quite fair, they're all about the same. Nature's the only one that I have a +3, so I'm going to go with that one. That's 13.
13. Yeah, it's a little baby dragon. It's a little tiny, but it's not like this dragon looks full grown. I mean, they're just a little fairy dragon, pixie dragon, if you were.
Sweet. And it's dead because that's the one that I hit with my rapier. So
it's dead. Yeah.
Pocket.
Go ahead and add to your inventory the corpse of a dead pixie dragon.
That is the greatest sentence I've heard all day.
This is a
must have had a really bad day.
This is a homebrewed item. I'm not going to tell you anything about it until somebody casts Identify on it. But this item that I've created is called There is a Monster at the End of This Box.
As I walk away, I'm gonna walk over to my parents.
Dad's
walk
like,
up to them and go.
Dad's like, can I have the box? Can I see it? Could I? Are we gonna open it again?
We are not going to open this again. No.
What about one more time though? Because I think mathematically, the creature.
Mom.
And she's like, we're not opening the box, dear. He goes, no, yes, we're not opening the box.
Can someone please cast Mage Hand and open the box? I need to know.
No.
Remember that time we spent the entire 2.5 hours
Opening and closing
opening and
boxes?
closing a box?
I don't. How does that story go?
And instantly regretted introducing us to an object.
Buddy, this box is as much fun for me as it is for you.
Somebody please open the box.
I say as you make your death saves.
Someone please open the box.
I think it is time for the two of you to leave. You're going to go somewhere safe. I think.
What?
Did I stutter?
Your father goes, no, but I was a help. I drove the carriage and I.
You did?
I fixed. Well, not fixed, but I've been upgrading.
You have.
Humphrey and Mother will slowly reach forward and put a hand on his shoulder and look at you and sort of appraise you, look you up and down, and nod her head and say, I think we should listen to the captain.
Oh, it's just gonna have like a split second where it's just like, huh, okay.
And she goes, I don't know of any safe space around this particular area.
I do. And he's going to pull out the elephant that Bob gave him.
Okay. Got it.
This will take you somewhere safe.
You might want to put a letter on this, buddy.
I was like, we're gonna do a couple of things before we send them. I'm actually going to give you something. Hold on. He's gonna pull out some paper and a quill, and he's gonna write, Bob.
I didn't want you to meet my parents' early relationship.
These are my parents. Take good care of them. I'm so sorry.
Now, hang on.
He's going to cross out, I'm so sorry. Then he's going to rewrite, I'm so sorry. I'll be there as soon as I can. They come bearing a gift. And then he's going to sign it Apollo, and then he's going to like X out the A and the P. He's going to fold it up and hand it to them. Go, give him this, and it will only make sense. Hold on. And he's going to go through his bag, and he's going to pull out the manacles that he's got.
So, to be clear.
Actually, give me this note back. Hold on.
Okay.
And he's going to take the note back, and he's going to write, it's not for use with the parents. And then fold it back up.
Okay.
Do not leave.
Because you did send a note that said, these are my parents, take really good care of them. And you're sending manacles. Okay, got it. All right. Great. Sure.
You'll probably also find a woman named Callie. Actually, Mom, you'll probably like her very much. Yes, this is okay. Right, this is going to go so good. You will be safe.
All right. And what about you?
I will also be incredibly safe.
It's the right answer. Mom will reach down to where you are, and she's loves you, but save for a few moments, she's never been the most affectionate person in the world. But she reaches down to where you are and holds out a hand to you. And it's a soldier's handshake. As you go to extend a hand, she reaches into your inner arm and grabs it, and you've seen her shake hands with some of the other soldiers in such a way. But as she grabs your arm, she goes, she says, I'm very proud of you and the man you've become.
Thank you.
Don't die.
Good. Okay.
Right. She will take a step back, and your father is just weeping profusely. Like he wraps you in a large hug, and like he's just like, I rocked you as a baby. You weren't a baby then, but I still rocked you anyway because you were so little. You were so small, and I remember wrapping you in a blanket and calling you my little man.
Yep, that happens. Agree. Okay. You need to go.
I can't wait to rock you again.
Nope.
And
He's just gonna like gently disentangle himself.
Sure. As you do, you extend the elephant out to them, and there is a whirling sound, and you hear the two of them hit some sort of soft material, and Mother goes, huh, and then the last sound you hear is your father go, that man is not wearing any clothes, and that's where.
Oh God!
That's.
Oh no.
And the elephant is gone.
Oh
God.
Oh my God, that's great.
Oh no. Do you have a... Dollar just kind of like turns back to the group and is like, do you have a just know that you have made a terrible mistake?
Every single day.
Pointedly looks at the chest.
As if to answer you, there is a from the cage as well. Just a loud squawk from the owl inside the cage.
So shall we go?
Yes.
It's probably time.
Okay. You all begin to travel onward to the next town over.
It's just occurred to me that I cannot carry a cage and a trunk.
There is a wagon.
There's a wagon, okay.
The cage is already inside of or next to Trovic in the wagon itself, as the wagon was being loaded up with materials and things of that sort. Your campsite is very quickly torn down for the evening. Did you guys wish to do anything before you left camp that day?
Only one thing. As Olo's getting into the wagon, I go, here you are, little man.
You knew I was going to do this.
Oh yeah.
I hope it was worth it. And I just like gently punch him.
Do you pull the punch? It's not like a...
Completely worth it.
Cool. All right. As the wagon begins to travel down the road, some of you thinking about some of the changes that occurred last night, some of you thinking about maybe objects or items, and all of you meditating on the events that happened. I think that is a great place to end tonight's episode. Right before you make your way over into the next town, unless someone... as you make your way forward, please do not forget about what you have, Nyx. Mandrake, if you have any questions that you would extend, you can always message them to me, as that consciousness is still a part of you at this point. So if you have any questions or that you would extend outward to it, you can as well. That is where we're going to end tonight's episode. We're going to go raid another D&D channel right now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. There's a lot of story drops tonight as we press ever onward towards the city capital. We love you guys so much. Indigo Connect. And hey, do you wonder? We're going to go, Lionhead Gaming is an amazing stream. Stay tuned. Go show them the love and earn those stream points. With every raid that you do, you earn a little bit more stream points. So you can trade them in to help out the players. So we love you guys. We'll see you soon.